We humans often have this feeling. We do this all the time. We always feel like there's someone better than us out there at literally any aspect that we picked. So the target audience, the people watching this video, are mainly going to be the people who want to get out of this rut, this hole or this trap they're in. Like, the trap I'm talking about is the constant comparison, this comparison trap. But it's detrimental to some people because why? There are certain types of factors. Let's talk about comparison and why we often do it. We often do comparison because there's someone better than us. People are always going to be better than us, and we want to achieve what people have. Yes. And even I compare to, and next of all, it's human nature. It's human nature since the dawn of time. People have been comparing themselves to another person. And so the thing with comparison is if you want to stop comparing yourself to others, I don't think you can literally stop comparing. It's impossible. But what you can do is I'm going to propose a few solutions here. But before that, I want you to understand it's human nature. We've been doing it, especially with men. It's part of the competition, and it's also involved in our survival instincts. You have to accept the fact that there's going to be people who are better than you. Always. These are the 2 points to remember. There are always going to be people better than you. But however, nobody is perfect. Nobody is a one size fits all. That is impossible. Nobody has it all under control. Even if you look at the most successful people in terms of what they've contributed, their magnitude of success and achievements and what they've done and everything, all seems to be perfect, but you haven't looked at the entire pie because nobody rarely has the entire thing. They might have success, but they have problems with, let's say, people, their own privacy, can be their family problems, can literally be so many things, their work-life balance, the stress, their feelings. But this type of comparison, the materialistic, superficial, this is the most common one, I would say, that people tend to do. Or literally anything at all. You ask them, they will tell you right away. They will know. Everybody knows what their weaknesses are because look, this is another thing. People focus a lot on what they're weak at, what they are lacking at. So this is a really common thing. You ask people, what parts you want to improve on. People can list so many things. Look, but in the end, when you ask them, okay, what parts are you proud of? Usually people answer this better with more clarity. It's weakness bias. They focus and put a lot of attention on the things that they're lacking. It's human nature and everybody does it. Of course, there are exceptions, but generally, people are more quick to notice this versus their weakness and what they might need to improve. And generally speaking about comparison, I don't think there's anything bad with comparison. Look, I compare to myself to a lot of people all the time, but there's a difference. The constant comparison, this comparison trap, but it's detrimental to some people because why? There are certain types of factors. First of all, low self-esteem. Not self-sufficient. No drive. Because when you compare yourself to other people, it's great. Look, you compare yourself to this guy who has, let's say, something. That's great. Look, something that you want, something that you aspire to be, that's great. But what happens is that oftentimes, let's say, when you compare yourself to this guy, but it's a different approach, what we call toxic comparison. This is what leads to the low self-esteem, to the lacking of self-sufficiency and having no drive to do things, because instead of focusing on the character, the things that he is doing, the things that he really, really has that really inspires you, everything you compare to superficial things. You compare yourself to really superficial things, and you only see the possessions. The possessions, right? This is often what drives to the low self esteem, not self sufficient, no drive. This is very toxic. And you'll start to ask questions about yourself. You start to ask questions. Why? Why is it that I don't live like that? And sometimes this is called the replication process. Why don't I live like that? Why don't I have things like his? We want to replicate their lives. We want their life, but we often only want the good part of it. People often think like, oh, I want this. Why can't I have that? Why can't I have that car? You never thought that car had maintenance fees that are very high, skyrocketing, and the car values depreciates, and the house that he has, probably he has to do so many things to maintain that house. People want the perks of it. People want the perks of the life, the glamorous lifestyle, but they never really, really, really actually think the actors that live, the actresses that live, they deal with so many issues, privacy issues, getting pressed by the media, by paparazzi, all of that. And being rich, you have to manage your money properly. And being rich means also you have to really protect your assets. You have to manage certain types of things. It's a different lifestyle. So nobody has it all perfect. So this is the thing. People want the perks, but they don't want to accept the entirety of it. So look, how to stop comparing yourself to another person. First of all, is to understand everybody has different timelines. When you're born on this earth, right, when you're a little baby, little man, before growing up into an adult, graduating, everything, you're just this person. You're just a baby. And you're brought up with specific circumstances. And you're giving certain chances and opportunities. And your environment dictates what you have. This is very important. That's why the success and everything, the rich, yes, part of the success is actually equals to, yes, determination, hard work, and all the other factors that they do, the ones that they can control. But there's also a percentage which people don't consider about. It's not cliche, it's actually true, is the circumstance. This includes your environment, the chances that you've been given, the position you are in that time. So not everybody can achieve this success. Yes, you can work hard, but it also depends on circumstances. And sometimes, yes, people can create their own circumstances at certain times. So the best thing to do is to know that everybody has different timelines. Everybody is given different circumstances and opportunities. So I would say the best advice right here, to play with the cards you've been dealt with. Properly. Utilize what you have. Utilize what you have properly. The cards that you've been dealt with. The circumstances that you have. Okay, maybe you might not have the other person, what the other person has, brought up in a well-better family. But what have you learned? What have you learned during your childhood? What have you learned during the process? What opportunities were you given? And capitalize the opportunities and the cards you've been dealt with properly and effectively. And I promise you, you will succeed in your own realm. Next is, of course, count blessings. It's very important. As I've said, we always have focus and bias to pinpoint on the weaknesses that we have, on the things that we improve, but we never look at the blessings we have, the fact that we're living right now, the fact that we're wearing clothes, the fact that you have a job. That's great. You can provide for yourself. That in itself is a blessing. It's a good thing also. You might not be where you want to, but at least be grateful for where you are. Be grateful for where you are. So practice the gratitude. Can be praying, literally anything. It will help you in the long run. You don't have to always be so miserable to compare this to that and just to see, oh, what I don't have and the other person has. But you be grateful for what you have. You be grateful. Last but not least is self-awareness and perseverance. This is a very, very, very difficult thing to do. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's difficult. You have to know that you are jealous, you are envious, you are whatever, you're comparing yourself to others, you're miserable. Yes, write that down. Be self-aware of it. Every time when that tendency kicks in, you have to really, really understand, okay, this is happening right now, and what am I going to do about it? And perseverance, because change is never easy. If you want to change your mindset to not compare, yes, you can do these things. It's all about mindset. It's nothing about physical, because this comparison thing, it's all in here. It's all literally in your mind. It's in your mind here, just repeating like a repeated like a broken radio player. So to really get rid of any kind of comparison that really drains you mentally is to persevere through it. There's no magic pill through this. You have to be determined to get through it, of course. But it's not totally difficult, because you can use these two concepts here. Remember, everybody has a different path. You don't have to try to live another person's life. You want to live what is best for you, whatever it is that you think, because this might be someone else's, this might be, oh, another person's, and you see this guy has this, that, and that. Nobody's perfect. Live how you want to live. Live how you were meant to live. Don't try to be anybody else, but be yourself, because you're unique, and I believe that everybody is unique and special.